Hello everybody, welcome to another edition of Paul's U. I am Paul Schwartz. Today's topic is foreign policy, specifically the Trump foreign policy, which is a multifaceted foreign policy, many components. The most important component, the most significant one, is the reliance on our unparalleled military might and how that is being used in this foreign policy. Specifically, how it's being used is to provide leverage, where Trump uses it to basically threaten different countries into submission, and that is a great strategy, but only if it actually works. You're familiar with his threat to North Korea, which he said, "Fire and fury the world has never seen." With Iran recently, he used something similar. We said, "Obliteration you have never seen before." This is a great policy, but only if they actually submit. The problem is the Vinnie Barbarino response, which is when the country says, "Up your nose with a rubber hose," which is exactly what both North Korea and now Iran are basically responding to the Trump foreign policy. It places us in a lose-lose situation. If, on the one hand, we do nothing, then that shows a sign of weakness. If, on the other hand, we follow the John Bolton way of doing things and go into another war, that creates additional problems in terms of real lives and real money. So, what do we do about it? Well, that's not the only component. The other component is undoing all things Obama. That brings us to the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, the JCPOA, more commonly known as the Iran nuclear deal. The agreement, and this is important, the agreement provided that in return for the phased lifting of international economic sanctions, Iran would reduce by 98% its stockpile of low enriched uranium, which is the uranium that can be further processed into bomb-grade fuel. The agreement also called for reducing the number of operating centrifuges that use that fuel by 2/3 to 5,060. It also called for the constant and technologically advanced monitoring by the International Atomic Energy Agency. The agreement was specific to stemming Iran's nuclear capability, and according to all observers tasked with the responsibility to monitor Iran's compliance, Iran was adhering fully to the agreement. So what did Trump do? Simply because it was negotiated under Obama, he walked away from it. The question is, why would he expect Iran to adhere to this agreement now and limit its nuclear proliferation when he walked away from it and basically ripped it up, even though the other signatories were still supported the deal? Trump, that is Trump's foreign policy. Now, Trump also can be called what we call an arsonist firefighter. He creates the problem, and then he tries to save the world from the problem that he created. While doing that, he also alienates all of our closest allies while embracing our adversaries, such as Putin in Russia, Erdogan in Turkey, Duterte in the Philippines, and his favorite, Kim Jong-un. So where are we with this foreign policy? This is where we are. Misusing our military might and not having a backup plan when it fails to threaten or intimidate, undoing everything Obama regardless of the implications, and now in this case, Iran is re-nuclearizing its country, and we are not in the position of having that agreement where we could actually further negotiate, and also welcoming support from our enemies, such as Russia. The other thing in his foreign policy is renaming existing agreements. The best example of that is the USMCA, the United States, Mexico, and Canadian Agreement, which basically is a slight change from NAFTA, but it's got his fingerprint on it, his imprint on it, and therefore it's now considered a great deal. So what is the most important part of his foreign policy? It's how easily he's manipulated by simply saying nice things about him. If these adversaries say nice things about him, they have him in. And the best part is when they actually write love letters to him, as Kim Jong-un proved. So that's our foreign policy. If you like it, vote for Trump. If you don't like it, you better think about some of the other alternatives come November of 2020. That's it for Paul's View, and see you next time.